Why do I live in the mountains? Well, let me tell you why. 15 years ago, I was living in Southern California. I had done 6 years in the military, and part-time as a SEAL, part-time as a recon doc. And I got out after 6 years and went into construction. And after years of doing that, I could see where the Republican Party was headed. Now, I got out in 1996. So in 2001, I witnessed 9/11 on TV, watched the second plane come in. And so, there was word going around in the intelligence community that the Bush administration had been warned. And there was even pilots, a flight school instructor down in Florida, who had warned the FBI that there was foreigners down there who weren't interested in learning how to land a plane. And anyway, the Bush administration was briefed on this, and what I've always said is they didn't plan 9/11, but they fucking planned to let it happen. And so it was fucking awful. It was fucking awful. And that's one thing of MAGA today is they act like we didn't live through 2000 through 2008. They have flooded the zone with so much shit, lies about the fucking Democratic Party that they've forgot 9/11. They forgot the 20 years of war that they put us in on a lie of mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction. This was a lie. And several of my buddies went over there and died. And so the only thing I did in the military was, besides get in trouble for hazing as a SEAL, I'm probably one of the only SEALs that got in trouble for hazing, and I'll do a video on that. But I was in Somalia, in Mogadishu, on a sniper team and with a recon platoon, 5th Marine Recon Company out of Camp Pendleton. And so when I came back is when Black Hawk Down happened. And boy, I felt my heart just hit the floor when I saw our pilots being dragged through the streets of Somalia, of Mogadishu, because I had went through Mogadishu a few times, just me and one other man and 2 drivers. We were in the back of a Humvee with 2 cooks. And we drive through Mogadishu, through the green zone, green for being so many tracer rounds being fired. And I've got a photo album of this whole place, and it's just blown to shit. Looks like Beirut. So anyway, we could have been had so easily, but for some reason I was fortunate. I've been very fortunate. I have several friends that have died, but so Black Hawk Down happened. I witnessed our pilot being dragged through the streets, and it just gave me PTSD just watching that. And so I come back, I get orders to SEAL Team 1, I refuse, and I get out, and I start doing all sorts of jobs, trying to make ends meet. I was trained as a medic, but I didn't want to go into medicine. And so, I probably should have, but anyway, I started working for a tower company doing construction, and I lived through the 2000 to 2008 Bush administration, of which my 2 MAGA friends that are close to me here were totally for the Bush administration. And I remember one of my buddies who is MAGA 110%, hat, flag, gives to the Trump administration. He's MAGA 100%, and the other guy, but he doesn't have all the merch. But they were all for Bush too, and they've all seemed to think that we've all forgot the 2000 to 2008 Bush administration, exactly why Obama was brought in. They fucking crashed our economy. They're complaining about the Biden economy, and they fucking crashed our economy. Courts were lined up with people filing bankruptcy. They even tried to change the bankruptcy laws so people couldn't file bankruptcy because it was just across the country. People lost their homes, their businesses. In my family alone, my mom and dad lost their home, their business, their retirement. My sister lost her home, and my ex-wife, at the time my wife, lost her home. All in this financial crisis of 2008. And what they do? Everybody got foreclosed on by the banks, and they bailed out the banks. So the banks got the homes and bailed out on the taxpayers' dime. So the Republicans, they pay for wars, right? With countries that didn't attack us. At one point it was $700 million a day, and these guys are fiscally responsible my ass. They pay for wars. They pay for new bureaucracies like Homeland Security and the TSA. They start the Patriot Act. Then they, along with them getting us attacked here at home, another failure of the FBI. So anyway, they after I witnessed all that, I was like, I got to get the fuck out of Dodge. I got to get back to the mountains where I grew up. It's time. I always wanted to, but holy shit, with the Patriot Act and all this, with the threat of a pandemic, they can claim martial law. Well, here's the Trump administration today. Get ready for that, because I am. I've been up here for 15 years because I got the fuck out of the city after that Republican Party. And it wasn't just the Republican Party. What it was the voters. When it came to Obama and was it Romney? McCain, first time, sorry, McCain. Remember who was going around the country saying Obama wasn't born in America? Do you remember who that was? Who was that prick that was spreading all that false information around America, that was trying to influence people not to vote for this guy, or for that party, well, for the guy, the second term, because he was black? Who was that guy? Yeah, that's SOB. We know who it is. Spreading hate and discontent back then, before he was ever president, Donald Trump. So anyway, the economy recovers, but it doesn't recover fast enough for the Republicans. Remember, you go on Fox News and it was like, yeah, but it's not recovering fast enough. Yeah. Don't think about us crashing the whole fucking thing. No, don't think about that. Think about how bad it is that the Democrats aren't recovering it as fast as I want them to. You know, it's kind of bullshit. They're just such actors. They're fucking actors, and I could see it back then. And so I got the fuck out of Dodge. I bought a bunch of acreage before prices went up. And so I lived through the first Trump administration. I said back then, don't fucking vote for this dude. This guy is gonna fucking ruin everything. He's got malice in his heart. He doesn't do anything with compassion. Well, he tries to make it look like he does when he, gives an award to someone or does this or that. But the guy, we're suckers and losers, us veterans. Of course, MAGA, that's another thing they just give him a pass on. No, he didn't say that. Yeah, and that's not a Nazi salute either, motherfucking just dumbasses. So, the first Trump administration, was just horrifying. And of course, the Republicans have this thing where they, when times are really bad, like when we're bailing out the banks and everybody's losing their homes, everything's cool, man. It was great. It was great. We got attacked at home. You know, we started 2 wars with countries that didn't fucking attack us, making a whole bunch of terrorists, you know, but the military-industrial complex is doing good. Blackwater, you know, and Halliburton stock is doubled, so we're doing great, man. So when everything is bad for the American people, it's Republicans say it's good. Democrats come in, Obama recovers the economy, millions of people get health care, we get a climate deal, we get a deal with Iran to watch their nuclear program, and much, much, much more. And what do the Republicans do? Yeah, he hasn't recovered it fast enough. And then they say he bombed an American with a drone overseas, and that makes him this horrible person. And if you look into it, the American was working for like ISIS and riding in a vehicle with ISIS. And they're like, these people have a problem with that. Right. Bush or Trump bombs fucking anyone over there, whether it was American or not. If they were working for the other side, it would be like, yeehaw, and I would do the same fucking thing. Yeehaw. If they did. An American deserves to be killed. If you're over there working for the enemy, and we're over there and you can kill one of us, aren't you deserve to be deaded? So anyway, yeah, so and now we got this second Trump administration, and you know, they tried to seize power at the end when they lost. Now they know they needed to seize power at the very beginning, and that's what they're doing. And he's got control of the executive, he's got control of the legislature, he's got control of the judicial branch. He's threatening the free press with suing them, which makes the press capitulate to his wants and needs, in fear of being sued, which means we don't have a free press anymore. It's a calculated maneuver. He's getting rid of woke generals in the military, right? People who aren't willing to push the MAGA agenda. So Elon probably has everybody's voting data, right? And he can strategically pick the people and fire them who aren't doing the MAGA thing, right? Authoritarian 101. Every one of these moves is authoritarian. Just like we said, dictator. Just like the Democrats said, don't put this fucker in. He's going to crash our economy. And he's on the way of doing it. The Republicans are like, yay, everything he does. Mike Johnson sitting behind him, and J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, I mean, think of the character of this person. Hitler could quite possibly be Hitler. I call him Hitler. Trump could quite possibly be Hitler, America's Hitler. Trump could quite possibly be America's Hitler. What would make a man come to that conclusion? It would have to be a lot, right? You don't just say that kind of stuff. You don't just come to the conclusion that someone in the political sphere is America's Hitler, right? And then you put it out there. You come to that conclusion and you put it out there. Well, I would say that he's one of the biggest sycophants that we'll see in the 21st century. Because now he acts like this guy he thought could be Hitler knows everything and does everything right and makes every decision. He agrees with every decision. Just like my buddy said, he agrees with 99.9% of the decisions Trump makes. So think about the character of that person. It's just like Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz and these people who call. Right? Yep, that's a squirrel. shepherd, squirrel. Yep. Anyway, we're sitting here at my range. And I have to carry a weapon here all the time. But why wouldn't I, being a former SEAL? But, okay, so that's why I live here, is because all of this stuff, I could see it happening. In 2011, I had a major heart emergency. I was in very good shape, but my aorta dissected, and I was life flighted. In 3 weeks, I was life flighted twice and had to go through 2 open heart surgeries, and a staph infection in my heart, and dialysis, and all this stuff. And so here I am, the patient. It really took a toll on my physical ability to work and do things around, when you're living off grid. But when I woke up from those 2 heart surgeries, yes, that's a squirrel. That's squirrel. When I woke up from those 2 heart surgeries, the nurses, I had doctors, I had a PA show me up on a board and draw, my heart and the valves and some veins and what they had done and what had happened to me. And he was just like, I don't know how you survived this twice. I don't know how. No one else would have survived this. They gave me a 2% chance when they put me on the life flight. That's what they told my wife. But anyway, when I woke up from those 2 heart surgeries, and they were like, you're a miracle, you're a miracle, you're a miracle. I was hearing it from all these people. So I was having to question, why do people say I'm a miracle? You're here for a reason, boy. You were here for a reason. And I've had 2 more heart surgeries after that. I had them graft my aorta, so they fucking filleted me. I mean, and it is something you'll deal with every single day. You don't want to. Matter of fact, I said SEAL training was easier than dealing with this, but especially right after surgery. Holy crap! I'll have to shoot a video on that. But so anyway, all these people are saying I'm a miracle. You're here for a reason. And the first thing that came to my mind, the very first thing was, and I said it out loud, I said, well, I hope it isn't to witness the destruction of my country or our country. And that's exactly what I said 15 years ago, 14 years ago. Yeah. And, 20 some years ago, when I saw the Republican Party doing this, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here, because they are going batshit crazy. And what they do is they point at gay people, and they point at trans people, and they point at DEI, being fair. DEI is not being able to discriminate against people, and they don't like that. They've been able to turn it into like this reverse discrimination thing where, well, they're hiring brown and black people instead of white people because of the policy. So now the policy is racist. Yeah, the racists calling other things racists. There's no accident that the same people getting rid of DEI and Black history and Black Lives Matter and women's rights and all that stuff are the same people, the very same people who, when they're, one of their 2 leaders, Elon Musk, does this with that face and then turns around and does it again, they laugh it off and they giggle and they point at you and they say, you thought it was a Nazi salute. The ignorance of these people, it just drives you fucking crazy. And I'm glad I don't have to be around them. I'm up in the mountains. I've got my own water. I got animals that come through my property if I need to. I got a lake. I got rivers around with fish. I can grow here stuff. I'm set up in case this shit happens. And I've been telling my family for years and my MAGA buddies, the reason I'm here is because of you guys. So I do have to thank MAGA for that, because I live on a beautiful, beautiful piece of property. And I'm a very lucky person for that, and to be alive in the second place, first place. But I'll have to shoot some more videos on my time as a SEAL. My time going through BUD/S was a very, very interesting story, and I'll have to tell that. But anyway, hope you guys have a good day. I'm Keith with No Sugar Coating. Take care, y'all.